Today, we're going to analyze, which means we get to look at and think critically about rotation, measurement, units, and angle measurement. There's a couple of reasons why we would do this. Any thoughts about why we're thinking about angles and angle measurement to start out with? Yes. There is a term for that. Architecture, I believe. I've totally misspelled it, so I'll redo it. Architecture is somebody who designs houses and where skylights are and those types of things. Um, Interior designer is another, someone who works with angles as well, someone who designs the way a room looks, I suppose, where certain features go, um, like fans and doors and things like that. Any other thoughts about why we would want to have an angle measurement or no angle measurements? Okay, a designer of some sort. People, yes, absolutely. Designers of all sorts. Um, I think a good way to say that is an engineer has to know their angles very well because they do a lot of designing. Yes. Teacher, if you want to be a teacher. Yes, sir. One more. Go ahead. It's math skill, it's geometry. It does have to do with, well, you're going to see I'll connect it to fractions and mixed numbers, as was said. Gosh, my typing and my spelling are terrible today. It always is. And last that I want to add is it adds to your spatial awareness. Spatial awareness. This word spatial, the word that connects to it is space. So you just your awareness of like the areas and spaces, and um, you'll start to talk about two-dimensional and three-dimensional figures as well. So knowing angles will be powerful as that. Two-dimensional figures are totally flat. They just have height and width. Three, yep, like this circle right here. Three-dimensional figures have height, width, and depth. So like this, everything that you see basically is three-dimensional unless it's just flat like this. Okay, so there's a couple of ideas that I want to highlight here. Um, you're going to be looking at these angles. Pretty much looking at angles is looking at the turns, or a clock is a great way to put it, absolutely. And that's why we were looking at the clock here. Um, you're not going to be looking at measurements of angles quite yet. We'll do that very soon. We'll pull out those protractors and do that very soon. You're going to be looking at it in the number of turns today. So it might say, really what you're going to be thinking of it is it like a starting point. That starting point when you're doing measurements, when there's just really nothing else going on, and I don't have a degrees sign, but it's zero. They call it degrees, and you might even see it instead of just degrees. Yeah, there you go away now. That's right. So there's two meanings for this little symbol there, that little circle symbol. One means the measurement of an angle. So instead of inches, we do degrees. The other one is when you're seeing, yeah, so like the temperature each day. I don't know what they have to do with each other, but they're the same symbol. So, yeah, same word, same symbol. Really interesting. Don't really have anything to do with each other. Um, so your starting point is always called 0 degrees, and you don't really need to know that so much. Um, but then we're going to start thinking about turning clockwise and counterclockwise, right? If I said clockwise, if I said I made a quarter turn clockwise or counterclockwise, should I go this direction or this direction, right or left? To the right, right? So a quarter turn clockwise looks like this. And the reason it's a quarter turn, and I think this was pointed out, which I really like, is if you divide a circle, and we called it 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you'll see it's divided into four corners, right? So, or four quadrants or fourths, right? So I know we think about these areas as the fourths, but we can also draw the line and think of it, about it as as a fourth of the line. Like if I flatten that circle out, right? If I flattened it out and I drew those lines where they were, it would look something like just this fourth quadrant like that. So when I say quarter turn to the clockwise, it's going to look like this. But there's one more really important thing that you have to put there, and it's not that, because that wouldn't make any sense, right? Nope. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, maybe I'll just have to draw. Oh, there it is. Nope. Let's try the other one. Nope. I got to do it upward. You're right. There you go. So you have to draw the arrow, not only from, and that's not a great arrow, and I just should have drawn. I'll just draw it here, just to make sure it makes best sense. Okay. So your quarter turn, you got to show where your starting point to your ending point, and you got to put that arrow. That arrow shows where your ending point was. Okay. So when I say quarter turn counterclockwise, that's what it looks like. The confusion could be that if you just draw this, which I saw a lot of, and also you're not going to get the circle, so it'll look like this. I saw a lot of this on the pre-assessment, and I didn't give you credit for it because that's not doesn't show a quarter turn clockwise, or it could be no, it could be that you're showing me a quarter or 3/4 of a turn counterclockwise, but you didn't make that very specific. Okay, is everybody okay with these symbols that I'm showing you here? Okay, and what the difference is with showing me a counterclockwise and clockwise? Okay, yes, that's what a great connection that is, and I think that's another way to look at it as well um, is to look at it as like north, north, south, east, west. Yeah, something like that. So um, if you guys remember as well, once we do get into these measurements, a quarter turn is also called a what angle? A 90-degree turn, or there's a word that a right angle, right? So a quarter turn is a right angle. And that's also why that's really important to show where that angle is, right? Um, yep, just like I drew that square, exactly. And then you might see, let's see, I should just be able to pivot this here, I think, right? To that point. That's a 180-degree turn when you do like a complete turn, and you would show it with like a, once again, like what's my angle here, right? With that arc. And then the other way to the other one, and this is called a reflex angle. It's a little bit longer, and that's a 90 plus 180 is 270 degrees exactly, and you would show it with that as to not confuse it with that right angle there. And then if you go all the way around one more time, that's what we call a. Is that what you were gonna say? Gosh, go ahead and just tell us. Go ahead and tell us. Yeah, it's called a 360, and you guys, if you guys know snowboarding or skateboarding or any of the extreme sports, whenever they do a complete turn with their apparatus and their tool, that's called a 360 exactly. So that's where that name comes from exactly. So yeah, so doing a 360-degree spin is what they're referring to with that. Okay. So today you're going to work on Math Journal page 178. You can cross out 179. Just cross it out. It's not going to be extra credit. It's not going to be assigned again. And page 180 was your math box today. Uh, this should be pretty easy. Um, and if you have any questions, if you want to come work with me, you